In the last week, it's been confirmed that plain packaging for tobacco products will be introduced both in the UK and in the Irish markets. And I think with those developments, the issue has suddenly become very much more pressing and immediate for the tobacco industry. Up until now, even though there's been a lot of debate about plain packaging, it was isolated to the Australian market, and the industry was able to make the argument that it would remain there for the foreseeable future. Whereas now, with the votes in the UK and Ireland, it's very much more likely that the spread of plain packaging will increase, and that markets that have up to now been simply discussing plain packaging will move to introduce it. And that's markets like Norway, but also very much bigger markets like France and Turkey. In terms of the impact of plain packaging, I think it's been relatively well rehearsed at this point. In the one market where we have seen plain packaging introduced in Australia, we've seen, according to our estimates, declines of about 4 to 5% in the 2 full years since plain packaging was brought into the Australian market. But also we've seen declines in the amount of money that consumers are spending on tobacco products. That's partly due to inherent downtrading caused by plain packaging. So once people don't see tobacco brands, they're inclined to just go and purchase the cheapest tobacco product they find. It's also partly due to people looking for alternatives in terms both of alternatives to tobacco products like e-cigarettes, but also alternatives in the illicit market as well. The indications from Australia are that although there has been a slight increase in illicit trade in the Australian market, the Australian Customs and Border Service says that seizures of illicit products have increased in the last couple of years. There hasn't been that flood of counterfeit plain packs onto the market that were promised by some in Australia before the introduction of this legislation, and that were discussed also in the UK and Ireland. So all in all, this is very much a negative development for the tobacco industry, and something that is going to make tobacco companies' operating environments much more difficult going forward.